Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Urban Plummer of South Florida Gospel Media Group, and we are here with the one and only Trip Lee. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good today. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. Let's get this interview started. So, has it been difficult juggling your religion and hip-hop?
No, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say that because for me, I don't feel like it's some either unnatural thing I'm trying to force or something that's very difficult to do. I think that rappers typically rap about the things that they're passionate about, and they try to be honest and talk from their life experience. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm a man who loves God. That's a big part of my life, and I want to follow God in everything I do. And so that shows up in my music and my perspective and in the things that I rap about.
So basically it's about combining the two for one common goal, which is to reach souls.
Yeah, absolutely. I think art is a gift that God has given us, to glorify Him, to reflect Him and His creativity. So I feel like kind of my two main goals is, one, reflecting God's creativity and making great art, and then two, pointing people to the truth.
Okay. Now, another question. What has been the hardest part about your journey to become a pastor?
Man, I think probably the hardest part has been, trying to figure out the way that works and balances with my other ministry. I've been doing what I do musically and publicly for 10 years. And so I want to be a pastor. I can't be going all the time on the road and these kind of things. I got to be able to walk with people and be present. And that's been a difficult thing to figure out about how to balance. And it's still a thing that I'm still figuring out. As a pastor in my church in D.C., one of the wrestles is, trying to think through how these two ministries balance together. And so that's something I'm still learning, but that I feel like I've been able to serve the church well and serve kind of the public well.
Okay. Do you think eventually you would like to start your own church?
Well, that's a good question, man. My plan is to actually be part of a new church next year. I wouldn't be the lead pastor. I would, again, be one of the pastors. And, I have health issues that make me wonder whether or not I can be the lead pastor of a church and bear that much load. So these are questions I'm always asking myself, because I have lots of unique things about me and my life and ministry that make my path different than others, which is fine. None of us are going to have a life in a ministry that looks exactly like someone else's. And, God gives us the privilege to kind of figure out the best way for us to serve Him.
Okay. So what will be your end goal for your music career? Like, what type of legacy are you trying to leave behind once you're finished with all the music and stuff?
Yeah, I would love for people to listen to my records 10 years from now, and then it'll still be good record. That's on the art side. I love when I listen to a record that came out a long time ago and it's still classic because it wasn't too trendy and it was actually good music. I want my music to be able to still be almost like a gift that keeps on giving even years and years from now, because I do consider music like a gift that I'm giving to the listeners. And then, I also want to leave a legacy of a man who always told people the truth. Rap. There's a lot of rap that tells people lies. It lies to people about what's really important. It lies to people how we should treat women. It lies to people about what role money plays in our lives. And I want to do music that tells people the truth. And, I've been so blown away by people who said their lives have been changed in various ways by my music, by me writing lyrics and rapping, and that blows me away. And I want to keep making music that does that.
Okay. Cool. Now, everybody knows that there are a lot of rappers who are coming up now that are Christians who rap about Christian, things in their music. What type of advice would you give those upcoming rappers?
Yeah, I think one thing would be to make sure you're good at your craft. I know a lot of rappers who, I've run into a lot of guys who think, as long as they're saying true things, that they're doing it with a good heart, that, they don't have to work as hard at being good at it. But if you just want to say true things and just preach or write or something, but if you want to do art, then you should do it well. And then the other thing would be just encouragement to let your one of your main goals to be faithfulness, not thinking, hey, I want to be as big as this person or that person, but saying, hey, what has God called me to do with my life? Does music help me to do that? And then let me just be faithful with whatever doors God opens instead of being obsessed with getting to this level or that level. And those are things I constantly have to remind myself as well.
Oh, I'm glad about that. I like that. Okay, now, everybody is talking about your new album, Rise. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's my 5th album. It is the title Rise has several meanings. One of them is to rise from the dead and live. I want to encourage people to live the way they were made to live. Another one is to get up from your slumber. Like to young folks, stop hitting the snooze button on your life. Stop thinking, I'm going to wait till I'm 30 or 40. Rise, get up and live. And then finally encouraging people to rise above low expectations that people have for us and to live the way we were made to live. So that's kind of the thought process behind the title. And musically, I wanted it to feel really fresh and different. And so, the production is really soulful, used a lot of vocal samples, and tried to just approach it in a way that was different from a lot of records. I worked with one producer for the whole thing, and so we really tried to make a cohesive album that we hope people would love listening to from start to finish.
Okay, and then I know I was reading that you have a book that goes along with the actual album that's coming out soon. Like what type of things would we expect from the book? Is it a devotional? Is it an information book?
Yeah, the book is aimed at young folks thinking about my generation and the tendency that we have to say, hey, I'll follow God when I'm like 20 or 25 or 30 or 40 or 50. I want to encourage people who know God made us for a reason. We have a purpose in his world, and so I want to encourage them to rise now, get up and live now. And so the entire book is talking about the unique challenges of following God while we're young and trying to encourage my generation to rise and live the way we were made to.
Okay. Now I have another question. If you can lead any one person to Christ, who would it be and why?
Oh, wow. If I could lead any one person to Christ, who would it be and why? That's a really hard question because there are people in my life who I know who I want to know Jesus, and of course there are public figures I think of that I want to know Jesus. I think one person I would say is one of my neighbors who I've had a couple conversations with, and who claims to be a Christian and who I've had enough conversations with and things to see that they may not be living a life consistent with following Jesus. And, I've had enough interaction to see that there's some success, but there's also some pain and hurt in their lives and some brokenness. And I would love to see this particular neighbor come to know Jesus and to get there's nothing like watching Jesus put somebody back together and watching them grow and watching them heal. Watching them mess up again, but repent like all of us have to do. That my neighbor probably in particular would be who I'm be thinking.
Okay. Now, do you have any shout-outs for anybody right now?
Shout-outs, always my family, man. I love my family. So grateful for my family, and they enable me to do what I do. I have a wife. I've been married for 5 years, Jessica, and we got 2 kids. So even now I'm out on the road, and they're graciously allowing me to do my thing. So.
Okay. Now, how can people get in contact with you on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at TripLee. That's TRIPLEE. Instagram, TripLee116. Facebook, /TripLee. And on my website is builttobrag.com. That's BUILTTOBRAG.com. And on there you can find events where I'll be. You can find blog posts I've written, sermons I've taught, and you can keep up with me and my music and everything I'm doing.
Okay, cool. Everybody, this is Irvin Plummer from South Florida Gospel Media Group, and we are with TripLee.